Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you one of the coolest new features in Docker's ecosystem, Docker Compose Watch. Now this has been around since 2023, so if you're tired of constantly rebuilding and restarting your containers just to see tiny code changes, or you're tired of using bind mounts to kind of like replicate everything into a container, this video is for you. Docker Compose Watch lets you hot reload and hot rebuild changes, preserve your state, and it helps streamline your dev workflow right out of the box. So let's dive in. Okay, so you might be asking yourself, what is Docker Compose Watch? So bottom line is that this announcement was made on October 3rd, 2023. So it's actually not new. It's actually almost 18 months old at this point in time. And it's a feature basically that monitors your local file system for changes and either syncs them directly into the running container or it rebuilds the image when needed without you manually starting and stopping containers, right? So, in the announcement that was made back in October of 2023, you'll see that they talk about wanting to basically prevent the disruption of focus. And of course, a lot of us got around this by using bind mounts, which is basically mounting a local file system inside of a Docker container. The problem is that it copies everything in the folder up to the Docker container. So why is this awesome? Well, with bind mount, what happens is that it's going to copy everything that's in the container, but if we use Docker Compose Watch, what happens is it uses the Docker ignore file and will ignore things like node modules or other non-necessary build artifacts that are in that directory. It will only literally use what you've specified outside of the Docker ignore file. So it's not a trivial workaround. So here, for example, you've got this watch parameter inside of your Docker Compose file. And what it's doing is it's actually ignoring node modules. It's also honoring the Docker ignore file as well. Notice the action here is sync. It's not sync plus rebuild or any kind of other variation. And the path is web and the target is source web, right? And notice that they're going to rebuild the package.json. So if someone touches the package.json, it's going to actually trigger a rebuild. If they basically target anything in web, it's actually going to do a sync and copy anything in web into source web, right? So here, for example, local file system, you can rebuild the container, you can sync the container, and you can ignore the node modules, which was specified right here in the ignore section. And in the Docker container, what ends up happening is that if changes are made to web, then it basically goes into basically the web directory. It's synced. And if you touch package.json, the entire container is rebuilt, right? So this has been around since, bundled with Docker 4.18. And of course, we're on like Docker 4.40 now. But there's a couple of different ways to look at this. So let's switch over because, by the way, here's the docs in case you actually need it. This includes the Docker Compose Watch or the -- watch flag. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to set up Compose Watch. We're going to see this with a Node.js app. We're going to see it with a Python app, and we're going to see some hot reloading with an Nginx config. Okay, first, let's get to our editor. So this is Cursor, a now AI-based variant of obviously VS Code. And notice I've got three directories here. I've got Python, I've got Node, and I've got Nginx. And what we're going to do is we're going to focus on Node first, right? That's going to be our first point of focus. So let's go take a look at our compose.yaml, right? And notice here that we have a sync and restart action, right? Anytime someone touches the app.js, right? We're going to basically sync and restart. If we touch package.json, it's actually going to rebuild. And then, of course, we're ignoring the .git and the node modules directories as well. And notice this runs off of port 3000. In this particular case, we have a little app.js file. And notice this app.js file just like publishes a few things. And I'm going to actually delete something just to make sure it's easier for us to see changes. And it will actually throw up an inspirational quote at random as well, right? So just some ASCII art and display a few things. That's all it does. Nothing super fancy. So we've got a little bit of text being displayed, nothing else super complicated. If we go back to our compose file, notice it's on 3000. Here's the watch section. Here's the sync action. Here's the rebuild action. Here's the sync and restart action. So we've got a couple of things defined, right? And our Docker file, by the way, is pretty straightforward, right? It's just using Node 22, version 22, the working directory, the package.json, npm install, and then our app.js. So nothing super, super fancy. Now what we're going to do is we're going to switch to a terminal. And before I run this command, I want to emphasize two things. One, the difference between Docker Compose watch and the difference between Docker Compose up -- watch. So the difference here is that Docker Compose up -- watch is actually going to start the services and then watch the services. Docker Compose watch is going to attach itself to an already set of running services. In other words, Docker Compose up has to have already been run for that to work. All right, let's keep going. So here, we're going to switch to node_example. And notice that here are our files. I'm not even sure what this one file is. Let's take a look. Oh, it's a copy of the thing. Let's get rid of that. Okay. So here we've got the Docker file, our README file, our app file, our compose YAML, and our our package.json. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do Docker Compose up -- what. And what's going to do is it's going to basically build / create the container. It's going to show me some output for today's inspiration. Now, this is running on port 3000, as we saw before in our editor. We noticed that the compose.yaml did define 3000. So if I come over here and I do localhost 3000, which is what I'm doing now, what will happen is if I hit enter on this, it's going to load up where DevOps Legends are born, node for Docker Compose watch. This is a demonstration of the functionality, right? That's it. Pretty straightforward. Now, let's say I'm coding along and I want to make a change to my app.js. And so I go back to my compose.yaml. But no, actually, I'm going to go to my app.js. And let's say I want to add a little dinosaur love in here and just put a big old rar with a long set of exclamation points. Something really simple. I'm going to save this. So I just saved it. I'm going to do it again just to make sure. Now, if I click back into my terminal, notice that it detected some changes, exited clean, and now it's restarted. Let's see what happens. So if we go back to our app, remember that browsers love to cache, right? If we refresh this, notice what happens is that it now has the whole RAR that I edited. Instantly, no container restart, no changes on my part. It just actually did what was defined in the file, right? Nothing fancy there. So that's an example of the changes, the workflow that you could have when using like Docker Compose up with this Node.js file. Now, let's switch over to yet another example. We're going to keep this up just for our purposes. Actually, no, we're not going to keep this up. We're going to stop that, actually. We're going to stop this gracefully. We did a Control-C just to stop it. We didn't run it in the background, right? We're just stopping it because we wanted to attach to it. It's going to stop the whole thing gracefully. And then what we're going to do is we're going to switch to our Python example. And here, notice that we've got the same thing. And so we're going to go back to our editor and we're going to switch over to the Python example. And so here we've got our Docker file, which is really simple. Python 3.13 slim. Here's some requirements files. Nothing really fancy. Here is our Docker Compose file. And notice that there's a watch section once again. And this is going to sync right between these directories into the container. And then we've got our simple app, which again is just displaying ASCII art with some random quotes right in there. Nothing fancy. So we're going to go back here and we are going to run our Python app. Close up and we're going to do watch. Okay, so notice this is running on port 5000. We do have a debugger active, right? And notice that it just started and there's no changes. So let's switch over to our browser. Let's add another local host. Let's take a look. Nothing fancy, right? Pretty straightforward. Here's our random quote, believe when you're halfway there. We're gonna go back to our editor and we're gonna edit our app.py and we're gonna say, you know what? What if I did this? And let's check and make sure where DevOps legends are born, right? But only with Python. Let's add another RAR. Right? We're gonna add another RAR. So now we've saved this file and we're gonna do it manually so you can see it, right? We've now saved our file. And let's go back and see if our app has picked up any changes. Ah, look at this. Oh yeah, we detect some changes. It was saved twice. We see it's like restarted. Excellent. Okay. So if I refresh this, look at that. But only with Python RAR version 1. So again, it just picked it up instantly. So now we switch over to a Python app, no big challenges. And so in this particular file, all that we did is we actually just had a sync, right? We had a sync action. We didn't have a rebuild action or a restart action. We had a sync action for anything that was touched inside of this file, right? By the way, if we touched requirements, we added like a piece of software to it, it would basically rebuild the whole thing. And notice, by the way, that cursor is like advocating for like a sync and restart for app.py, any variations thereof, right? So that's just cursor, by the way, doing that. That's not standard. Okay, so that is our Python app. Now, let's switch over to our last example, which is Nginx. So before we do that, let's go back to our terminal. Let's stop the run here because we didn't start it in the background. And then now we're going to switch to Nginx. Okay, let's take a look. So we have a compose file, some HTML, and then an Nginx comp. Let's go take a look at what's happening here. So let's go back to our editor, and we're going to close all the Python stuff. And we're now going to switch over to Nginx. First of all, let's take a look at this HTML file. So notice it's, right, pretty standard. Here's our Docker compose file. And notice the watch action. It says, I want you to sync and restart if you touch the Nginx comp. Interesting. Right? Okay. So what we're going to do here is that first we're going to start it, and then we're going to change the Nginx configuration and see if this makes a difference. So, and actually we're going to make a very minor change to the Nginx configuration file, right? Just to see if, it makes a difference. We're actually just going to put a space in it. We're not even going to make any changes to like keep alive or anything like that. All right. So let's go back to our terminal, and here we are. Let's do a Docker compose up, watch. Okay, so Nginx is started. Our container is running. If we switch over to Docker Desktop, by the way, we can actually see, right, Nginx is up and running. Cool. So we're good. We notice that it's running here. Let's go to our local browser. What port is this running on? Well, if you may remember, if we went back to our configuration and looked at the Docker compose file, it looks like it's running on port 7000. So let's go over here and let's run a local host for port 7000. Boom, there we are. Notice where legends are born, but only with Nginx. Okay, so let's say we wanted to remove the but only when the Nginx part, or maybe the RAR part, right? Let's say that we wanted to, make it a little bit more judicious. First of all, if we go in here and make a change to the index.html, that's not going to be a problem for Nginx because Nginx is going to reserve the file anyway. So that doesn't prove that Docker watch is running. It just proves that Nginx can easily serve back out files, right? That's actually not syncing a change. And if we go back to our terminal, we'll actually see that, it's had some problems retrieving things, but there's no, big advantage here. Hold on one second. Video editors. So notice here, all right, no changes. So if we go and look and we refresh it, notice it's gone. Okay, so as far as all evidence shows, it picked up the changes in the file. But you may remember by looking at our Docker compose file is that we didn't actually have our watt to anything but nginx.conf. So if I go to the nginx.conf, and let's say I add a space, right? I don't need to do anything other than add a space. If I go back to my command line utility, notice it says that Nginx was restarted. Is that consistent with our behavior? It probably is. Let's take a look. So if we go look at our Docker compose, it was a sync and a restart if any changes were made to Nginx, and that's exactly what happened. So this is a prime example of how to use Docker Compose Watch to basically sync and restart your local development or local infrastructure, whatever it is that you're doing. So this covers 3 real-world ways to use Docker Compose Watch. And in each example, by the way, you're going to define a develop block under your service. So notice that it's here inside of our Docker Compose file. And you're going to specify different watch rules for different paths. So let's go back to Node just to make sure that we're looking at the most complex example. Notice there's a sync, right? There's a rebuild, and then there's a sync and restart action has possibilities. So notice that cursor is actually showing all of the options there, including the sync plus options as well. So you want to choose your action carefully. So sync is for quick code changes. Rebuild is for dependencies and compiled assets. Restarts is for services that have no hot reload mechanism. Or you can use a combo like sync and restart or sync and exec to kind of combine any of those 3 actions. So again, the command is Docker Compose Watch. So if we exit out of this, just so I can show you again, it's Docker Compose up -- watt, or you can actually do a Docker Compose Watch if the service is already started and you just want to watch the service and watch the magic happen. So once you're done coding and you want to deploy to production, at that point you can run other commands, like if you need to do like a Docker, do a Docker Compose, build, or a Docker Compose push. Either of those could be good. Or if you have a CI/CD pipeline, it can just handle it for you. So Docker Compose Watch is purely for local development. It's not for production auto updates, and it's all about speed and convenience when you're coding. And that, in a nutshell, is how you can harness the power of Docker Compose Watch to supercharge your development process. So whether you're building Node apps, Python backends, or you need real-time Nginx config tweaks, Docker Compose Watch can save you hours of repetitive container restarts while filtering only the files that you want to go into the container. So if you found this helpful, give this video a like, subscribe for more Docker tips. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next Docker video. Happy coding.